I bet.
Firing it up.
I need a message Okay, Chrome.
Maybe. And we transition. There we go. Hello, everyone. Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to our weekly live-streamed Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition online role-playing adventures. I am joined, as always, by my good friends Chris, playing the noir detective, human, inquisitive, rogue, wizard, Mannix.
Hello.
Heather playing the dark death dealer, half-drow, assassin, rogue, Kaless.
Hello.
Rochelle playing the Deepwater Diva, Triton Bard of Whispers, Gillian.
Hello.
Raymond playing the heedlessly brave Tortle Battlemaster Fighter Rogue, George.
Hello.
And Reese playing the metal-laced Mighty Morphin Hill Dwarf Druid of the Moon, Theron.
This is correct.
Just randomly emphasize different parts of your titles every time, just to keep things a little interesting. We stream our sessions live on YouTube.
Wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
That's right. Every Friday evening, catch up on previous episodes on my YouTube page, as well as read weekly session recaps at roguewatson.com. Watch my behind-the-scenes, no players allowed live series Crafting Annihilation on Thursday mornings. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/roguewatson. Shoutouts to my platinum patrons, Andrew, Richard, Joe, Will, Tiny Dancer, Nick, Andy, Grayson, and Chris. And gold patrons, RPG Papercrafts, Charming Grenade, Pretty Boy Numa, Marco Stid, Vicente, Gilberto, Sean, a.k.a. Cert to be Adam, Dead Lizard Lounge, Sam, Rosh, and Lumpy Spuds. Thank you all very much for your support. For our campaign, we use Roll20.net. For video chat, we use Discord. For streaming, I use Open Broadcaster software with Streamlabs. I do want to announce one new thing that I kind of want to do going forward, which is something.
On all your spells.
Yeah. Near the end of the session, I am going to run a poll, and everybody watching can participate. It'll work if you were here for our special 2,000 subscribers session, which I think was 2 sessions ago. We ran a series of polls. It'll work like that. It'll be an automated poll in the chat, and it will be for who was the session's MVPC. And everybody can vote, and whoever wins gets inspiration. That will motivate our players for playing even grander, because often I forget to do inspiration.
That's a good idea, actually, to take the weight off you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So yeah, I've put notes in there. Hopefully I'll remember to do it before the end, but nearing the end, I'll try to time it where it won't be we're like sitting around for it. I know.
You're still not going to remember.
We'll try it out. We'll see what we can do. All right. Previously on Tomb of Annihilation, having saved the Grung of Nang Nang Shrine from a Yuan-ti attack and returned the chief's lost son, the party was rewarded with a celebratory feast, their 5th puzzle cube, and a long rest. And level 8. During the revelries, Zendala's pseudo-dragon familiar Summerwise was found by a Grung, injured and scared, and through its telepathic thoughts confirmed that Zendala had been captured by the Yuan-ti. Zegmir had contacted the party and told them to meet her spy in the royal palace. The party slipped through the crumbling walls to find an odd figure casually waiting for them. They introduced themselves as Ishmakal, and through some rapid transformations, they were revealed to be a doppelganger. Ishmakal told them of the major players in the Yuan-ti temple, Raznisi, the powerful but apparently dying leader, and Fenthaza, the high priestess who's taken to running the temple. Ishmakal suggested the party infiltrate the temple by posing as purebloods for those who looked human enough, and captives for the rest. Artis wanted answers from Raznisi about Mesro, but feared the ring falling into the wrong hands, and he and the rest of the NPCs opted to stay behind. Mannix and Kaless could pass with a bit of makeup, while Theron transformed into a snake. That left the Tortle and the Triton. Mannix used a complex version of Silent Image to create an illusion superimposed over the 2 party members, making them look stripped of equipment and manacled. The party carefully followed Ishmakal into the inner palace and down an underground chamber. With some quick words and a few gold coins, they made it inside the hefty doors into the vast underground chambers of the Yuan-ti base of operations. Down a hallway and through the sacrificial chamber, the party escorted their fake captives into the prison pits, where they saw Zendala. They didn't have much time for a reunion, as a nearby guard demanded they report to Fenthaza. Mannix asked Zendala to use one of her few remaining spells to cast invisibility on Gillian and brought her back out of the pit, and the 5 of them, Ishmael, Mannix, and Gillian, posing as Yuan-ti purebloods, Theron, wild-shaped as a snake, and an invisible Gillian, prepared to enter the High Priestess's chambers.
Sorry, that last bit was as much for you as it was for us.
I mean, yeah.
Here's where all my pieces.
Exactly. I had to really remember about what the hell is going on right now. And that is where we...
Whoa. You're not done with the recap.
Sorry.
George? You didn't say where George is?
Oh, George is still in the prison pits with Zendala. However, you are not manacled and you have all your equipment.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
We left George by himself. This is a great idea, guys.
with another slightly psychotic individual.
Yeah, wizard.
Well, as we learned from Facebook earlier this week, we can't kill the priestess
Well,
and steal its shadow.
things aren't going to work exactly the way we thought they were going to work.
We're all gonna die.
Except for George.
Yep. George will come
I
out
live
of
in
this
this hole
thing
now.
in triumph.
Live in this hole. All right, yeah, if you guys want a chance to discuss anything, you can. Otherwise, I can continue escorting you.
We're already on the way to this lady's bedchambers.
Here we go.
Yeah, I
Let's
don't
see what
see it.
happens.
I don't see it a good alternative to going where we're going. Once we're there, I don't know what we're going to do at this point because, as we discussed earlier, the DM helpfully let us in on a clue.
I'm not
that
telling you what you can and
Yuan-ti-
can't do. I was just kind of...
But Yuan-ti are not entirely humanoid, so we're not going to be entirely.
Some of them
able
are
to-
not, yeah.
Some of them are not.
So namely, we be pwned.
So the guards are escorting you. It's obviously cramped quarters here. And keep in mind, even though the hallway is 5 feet, and obviously one of these tokens takes up the whole thing, a person is not 5 feet across. So you guys can, obviously pass by.
The dwarf, maybe.
The dwarf, maybe.
Mhm.
So the guard kind of raps
Dwarf.
on the door here, and you hear a voice, kind of a muffled voice from inside. The guard nods, and the door opens, or the guard opens the door, and gestures for you all to go inside.
Okay.
If you can see where the door is, it's right above where Gillian is right now.
We're killing you by probably how to Russian. I don't. We can't see Gillian. She's visible to everybody, so we don't have. There's no way to coordinate with her at all.
This is true.
She's
Excellent plan so far.
We have no way of executing this. Let's go.
Let's go.
This is gonna be fun. So should we get this out of the way now? It's been great playing with you guys.
Yeah, Roll20 is like super not working for me. BT dubs.
Ooh, I appreciate the hardcore role playing of invisibility here for you. I can't see anything.
Gillian, as she is invisible, just runs away from the dungeon and
Let her suck it.
doesn't tell anybody. Like,
All right, you ready, Gillian? Okay, I think she's ready.
I think she's ready.
hey,
Days later.
if I can't steal this chick's face, what's the point, really?
Right. Yeah.
I'm bouncing.
We just go on for days talking to nothing as if Gillian's
Yeah.
invisible.
Gillian, why are you being so mean? What did I do?
When was this spell supposed to end?
I cannot see the door, or at least I can't see inside the room. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be able to see it.
Oh, weird.
I can see.
Oh, I know, because there's no... Let me copy some light. There's no actual light in there.
Oh.
She is a snake.
Well,
thing.
that would be a funny
Oh,
thing
we really
because
need light.
I bet real Yuan-ti have dark vision. So
Do they?
I actually don't know. I don't know if the purebloods do.
Well, let's see what the whole internet says.
Let's see, do I have a pureblood to look that up? I'm gonna put light in there just for now because that's gonna make things easier at the moment. Do the Yuan-ti have a dark vision? They do indeed. Even the purebloods have dark vision.
So is this place dark? I see light sources in the hallway.
There are light sources in the hallway, yeah. You step in, Mannix, and it is dark as hell in there.
Mm-hmm. Just stay behind me.
Theron, are you still on me? Good. Stay.
Oh yeah.
Don't ever leave me.
As like a snake thing, he would gain the benefits of dark vision, right? Because he takes on the traits of whatever.
I think he's just a regular snake, though. A regular snake.
But I mean,
Does
I
he-
think most snakes can see in the dark. Like they have a form of dark vision. That's why it's like really
Like cats.
dangerous to walk around the jungle at night because the snakes can see you. And
Is this another moment where you learn something
About an animal.
about an animal? Poison snake have dark vision. Also, it should be venomous. They have blind sight out to 10 feet. That is how it's mechanically, because of, I guess, the vibration sensing, maybe?
Mhm.
Oh boy.
So Theron can sense everything out to 10 feet as a snake.
Theron, guide me. Hiss in my ear if I'm about to walk into something.
I can see for him to make you
Give
stop.
him
he
the
just starts
wettest,
choking.
the wettest
Yeah.
of willies.
I'm going to see. Where are you? Where'd you go?
We're in the
Inside the room.
All right,
For me,
I'm
it's
going to
total
instruct you to walk to the left.
How are you doing this with a series of
Oh my
snakes
God.
tongue signals?
I'm going to be on either side of your head. If I tickle your ear,
It's like
You go-
Ratatouille,
go
but with a snake.
you go the opposite direction.
Okay, like a horse. You're gonna drive me.
Like a horse.
Right.
And I direct him
board.
to a wall.
I just walk
Just
right to a wall.
slam.
And I chuckle and go
I
through it
hate-
again.
A haze of incense lingers inside the chamber. Faded murals decorate the walls, and rugs and cushions lie scattered on the floor. An engraved chest rests in one corner next to a stone urn covered with snake carvings. A creature with the head and upper body of a fierce woman and the lower body of a serpent coils in the middle of the room. I do have a picture of her, though, so at least you get something.
Do I want to see this picture?
The woman that I can't see.
Yes.
Okay.
Ishmael is in the room. I think. Did I put him in the room? Yeah. Next to you all. Oops. Wait, where are... All right, let's put you there. Wait, where the fuck did Mannix go? He's underneath somebody.
Wherever the snake told me
He's
to.
underneath me.
Okay. He's just crawling
Don't blame
around on
me.
all fours. Just bumping into
The snake
legs.
told me to.
Ishmael makes a dramatic bow and says, Shinthai Dendar, High Priestess. And then kind of gives you all a pointed look, knowing glance.
I attempt to recreate it, and as I'm
Yeah.
going down, I just put a hand on Mannix's back to make him go down because I know he can't see shit.
I'm about to say, Maddox is going to say at least be staring off like 2 feet to her right as he says it. Just like, Genthai Dender.
Are you drunk?
Yeah.
The half
He took
snake
me-
woman's gaze bores into you before she finally speaks. Shinthai Dendar, you Orok have succeeded where others have failed. Defeated the Barakne, even captured some alive. I could use such ambitious Orok. The rewards would be substantial. Pity you only captured some of them. Tell me, do any of the rest of these troublesome Barakne yet live?
Is she speaking like Yuan-ti, or is she speaking full common?
The Yuan-ti language is a combination of common and draconic. So it's kind of peppering in some phrases that are strange to most of you, but I believe, Celeste, you understand them.
Okay.
I just got freaked out because
I did too.
I saw Rochelle in her own webcam, and then I saw her peek into Reese's webcam. Like the two Rochelles. What's going on?
Oh God, he's cloned her. He's figured out. No, he must share this secret.
Now I see that she is frozen.
Yep.
Oh no.
There she goes. God, do we want to tell her that the others are still alive and we have?
So did she just say that she could use not
Us.
like I'm still not like picking up on the terminology. Did she say she could use like us as snake people, or was she saying that she could use like the adventurers that we captured?
I think us as snake people.
So, if you want to assume that Celeste had a quick conversation with Mannix about the vernacular for the Yuan-ti coming up here.
Assume Mannix is smart and he's been listening.
Gotcha. Assume Mannix is smart. Orok refers to the lower rung of the Yuan-ti, which is the purebloods. Orokne refers to how they refer to themselves as Yuan-ti, the people. Barakne is anybody not Yuan-ti, which is like lower than purebloods.
Barakne versus Arachne?
Yeah.
Those words are very similar.
I tried to do language in the simple terms. But she was saying that you as purebloods are very ambitious, and she's impressed with you, basically.
Okay.
But she's asking if any of the basically she asked you came in with, from what everybody can tell, just two of the party that's been that they've been tracking and dealing with throughout Omu. So she's kind of wondering, like, where are the rest of them, or what updates do you have? And Ishmael looks momentarily panicked.
Oh man, can we turn them against the red?
What? I don't want to interrogate this lady. We're happy to serve you, milady.
Milady. Ishmael like steps on your foot.
I don't know how snake people talk.
Priestess.
Priestess. Yeah, we got some ideas. Mannix is not good at like speaking differently than he normally speaks.
Speaking differently.
We got some idea of where the other be. What do you have in mind? What do you intend to do with them, great priestess?
She says, they have been a problem in Omu. Going after the shrines, they must know how to get in to the tomb. And our Lord Raznisi has made a deal with a most powerful being to keep all out of the tomb. But I am thinking this deal has gone bad for Raznisi, our once great leader, a divine protector of Chult, has been cast low. He came to me long ago, and I saw great power within him. Saw that he would restore the Orokne to a new age of glory. He submitted to the rituals and came out stronger, more beautiful. Now he is but a withering shadow, and we suffer for it. And I will need loyal servants if we are to purge ourselves of this weakness.
Hmm.
Oh, she wants to take out Rosny.
Well, what are the odds that whip off the mask? What if it was us all?
It was us all along. Finally made a snake out of me.
And do you think perhaps these adventurers might aid you in this purging of this terrible influence on us? Not your people, us.
Not us, we're not them. She says, they could be a useful tool if pointed in the right direction. I have heard reports of their power throughout the city. They are strong enough to even defeat Rosnisi.
I believe it. We've seen their power. They're very powerful.
And handsome too. Curse those handsome devils. Tell me, how did you defeat such powerful Barakne?
I think the jig is up.
Let's ignore your question for a second.
I'm going to table that. I need to confirm with my counsel, please.
Presume for a moment that we could procure the services of the remaining members of the party of which you speak. Would you perhaps be willing to work with them in exchange for entrance to this sealed off area? And in exchange, they might be persuaded to purge you of the weak curse upon your people.
She narrows her eyes a bit and stares at you hard. Says, you are working with them then? You have ingratiated yourself?
We believe them to be amenable to such a deal.
They are after the cubes, yes. The cube that Rosnisi ordered, stolen. The cube that has caused all these problems.
The cube that could solve your problems.
Exactly, if removed from your domicile. I feel like Maddox isn't even trying.
Yeah.
Try to make it sound like fancy, but
Heretofore unto which
we will render unto
right.
you from which. Yeah, Ishmael looks like he's ready to faint after from all this.
There's some of them. Well, no, I actually don't want to do that because George is all armored up. I was going to say, like, bring the turtle in here. I'll ask him.
You assume he's still there.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll get to you in 1 second, George.
heaven help.
Fantaza says, maybe we could work out an arrangement. We will need their strength. I am considering some drastic measures. They could incite a rebellion amongst the slaves. The slave master, Isar, is a loyalist to the Raz. If the slaves revolt, it will force Raznisi to send many troops to put them down, and that is when we can strike. Unless, of course, you have other plans.
Is Rasnisi still the future that you see?
He cannot be. Not while death grips him so.
If
I-
death can be stopped,
She cocks an eyebrow, says, You learned about what has befallen our Lord?
as you know, we hear things. We are less. And she'll like draw out less, like almost like a hiss.
Like
Yeah,
Solid
there you go.
Snake. She's
Yeah.
working hard. Maddox isn't trying. Celeste is like
Yeah.
really getting into it.
Yeah. She's switching to more of the draconic side of it versus the
Right.
common side. And people don't always see us when we're there. We hear things. We see things.
Tell me what you have learned. If there is anything we can do, all of my magic, nothing works. He continues to deteriorate before our eyes.
She'll look at the one because I mean I can see her, so
Yes.
I don't have any problems with it. She'll just look at her and go, "A Sararak."
She kind of rockets back for a second. She says, So, it is the deal that he made then, this dark pact. I warned him of it. It would only, we thought, it would bring us glory. Sarak claims that he can free Dendar from his prison and usher in the Night Serpent to devour the world. I
And
thought
to
these
do that,
were...
he'll kill us all.
Well, no, Dendar, you want that to happen. Dendar...
Well, no,
you mean a
I'm saying that for Sarac to do that, she's saying that a Sarac will kill us all to be able to do it. I'm still using the plural us because
Gotcha.
you know I know the jig's up, but you know, Celeste isn't that smart, so Heather knows. Celeste does not.
So she says, So, who is going and how are you going to cure Raznisi? How do you propose we stop a Sarac when we are allied with him? He promised us to bring us the black opal crown from the depths of the tomb, and with that Raznisi will become unstoppable. Or so he says.
As we see, he has already lied to many. And we use the adventurer to take him out. That kills both of our problems. The adventurers die fighting a Sarac, or they succeed and a Sarac is gone, and Raznisi returns to the power that you saw.
Kales, roll whichever charisma check you wish with advantage. Probably either persuasion or deception.
Oh,
But
dear
it's
Lord,
probably
I'm probably going to go with deception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally trying to. I really kind of probably don't want to fight Raznisi because that's going to hurt. If we don't have to. Alright, advantage is on. Please don't roll an 11 this time. Please don't roll an 11. 13's not 11. So I'm just trying to put a thought in her head. It's not
Mhm.
something
Yeah,
she has to
that's-
agree to right now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something to think about because it's win-win. It's the
Yeah.
people who are causing them problems will just go to their death, or the people that are causing the problem they'll deal with later when Rosnisi is full power again and everyone fight. You know, I'm gonna either kill us now or
Yeah.
kill us later. I'm sorry.
Later's always better.
Yeah, I'm trying
Later's
for
better.
later.
You see
I'm
her.
really trying for later, but
You
Or
see her.
maybe. Or sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, no, I was actually gonna probably undermine what you were about to say. So you go first.
She absent-mindedly strokes the urn next to her, which is covered in like these arcane sigils and snake carvings. And says, "I will think of your words." And then she kind
Would
of
you like us to get into contact with these adventurers? Offer them some sort of deal or alliance of some sort?
we could send the turtle.
she says, "We have already captured some of theirs. They will either come to us or we will force them here."
And when they come, will you offer them an alliance or deal of some sort?
Perhaps we will see how amenable they are.
Do we give up the jig now, folks? I'm not
Might
saying
as-
this in character.
Yeah.
I feel like all we're doing at this point is just like dragging this out. Like,
I
where
think
are we
she
gonna go if we leave
figured
this
it out a
room?
while ago.
If we leave this room still in disguise, we're
Yeah,
invisibility is
we're
only going to last so long.
Yeah.
While you guys are thinking of that, George, you are in the prison pit next to Zendala. Zendala's still manacled, although she's ungagged. You still have all your equipment, but you do have a grate on top of you. And you are in a 10-foot deep, 10-foot wide pit.
Your name's Zendala, huh?
That's right. How is the rescue going?
It's going pretty well. How do you propose we get out of here?
I don't know. I cast one of my last spells on your blue friend, and they took off. So I hope you can trust them.
Well, we've partied together this long, and I'm pretty rich, so
How rich, you say?
don't worry about that. Here, let me help you with these manacles. What would it take for George to sneeze at the same time he tries to break a manacle open?
You would either need a strength check. You don't have lockpicks, do you?
I do not.
Yeah, it would take a pretty difficult strength check to. She's just manacled her arms and then her legs, but otherwise she can move sort of freely.
Do you need your hands and feet?
She's like, that would be nice, but it usually requires a key.
Unsheathen sword.
Yeah.
Permanently.
Okay, never mind. All right.
If you have your sword, you might be able to hack it away, but you imagine that would make quite the ringing noise.
Right. I'm just gonna do a strength check and sneeze at the same time.
Give me a strength check to try and break her manacles.
So starting with the we'll start with the feet first.
Okay.
George, as he pulls and pulls, he goes, ah, chew.
Ow! You big lummox! What are you doing?
All right, forget that. These are stronger than I thought. What can you tell me about that little portal-looking thing I think we saw at the top?
Yes, those are teleporters, I believe, created by a powerful mage of some sort. I assume Rosnisi's own device. I've seen them around a few of the different rooms. It would take some arcane knowledge to work it. I haven't had a chance to look over it, as you can imagine. I've been a little preoccupied.
Did you see anything on your way into this prison? Any rooms we can go to? Anything of value?
Says there's rooms all over the place. The primary job for the slaves is cleaning various rooms. Or if you're really unlucky, you'll be working in the caves trying to expand this whole network down. That's deeper in, past the storeroom. There's some giant snake that guards it. Snake can talk, by the way. Real funny one that is. There's a giant fun room in the middle of this whole area that they do some kind of ritual on. I believe that's how they make more of the snake people. A lot of blood and snake statues. It's horrible.
No, we need something discreet. Tell me more about the storeroom.
Yes, there's a storeroom down further, past through that hallway. There's another one that's a door, but it was locked with some magic. And I didn't think to try to jump in there. There's some bridge over a bunch of snakes in a pit that leads to their little bath area, as well as some rooms. They've got a distillery further to the south. They're making some sort of concoctions down there. I haven't been near the throne room they keep talking about. I'm not sure where that is. Or this harem.
Which room can you imagine, or which room do you know the best? Can you describe this storeroom to me?
It's a room with lots of boxes and crates full of food and supplies.
About how big is
I
this?
knew it. The storeroom.
It's actually pretty large. It's
Paint me
bigger than this
paint me a
whole
picture.
prison area.
Can we pretend she describes it really well?
She describes it to the best of her ability. Yeah, she says it's larger than this prison room,
Okay.
but that it's guarded by a giant talking snake.
outside the room.
No, the snake is in the room.
Okay, one snake.
Yes, one big ass snake.
Alright.
There's a lot of snakes in here if you haven't noticed. The whole damn place is crawling with them. Your friends came in with a damn snake. You're adding to the snake problem in
Hello.
this place.
All right. Do you trust me? As he grabs her arm.
Oh, gods.
Will you come with me?
I just met you, so sure. Let's do this.
All right. George imagines the storeroom she describes as he whips out his cape.
What are you doing? What is that?
As he whips out his cape of mountebank.
Jesus Christ.
Will you allow me to teleport there?
Do you have any idea what you're doing with that? You don't look like you're trained. Otherwise, she looks like she would acquiesce. She does look a little worried.
Don't
Tell
bring
her
the
not to
manacles.
do it, but
Don't bring the
I'm a
manacles
snake,
with you.
so-
How do I not bring the manacles with me? Is that a choice?
Just don't will the manacles. Bring your clothes, bring your belongings, but don't think about the manacles.
She looks panicked. Oh, God. I have to think about the things I bring.
Wait, you're teleporting to a room that has a giant snake in it, right?
It's only got one snake.
But it's a
I
giant
like
snake,
those
right?
odds.
Read the last sentence of the spell.
Well, as long as I don't take the exact same space.
What are the odds that's going to happen?
Right. She says it's a large room.
And a giant snake.
Yeah. What I'm trying to think. Rochelle gets it.
what is the ratio to room to snake?
Room to snake.
room.
The lady is slowly dawning on her about all these questions and where they're going. Like, lady, I need the exact ratio of snake to room. Is it 50%? Is it 75% snake? This is very important.
I imagine you'd mean just a really big snake. But what is your definition of giant?
She stares at you, bewildered. It's bigger than me.
Does it take up the whole room?
It does not take up the whole room. No.
I think you should be good then.
All right. Well, I will imagine ourselves about 5 feet above the floor to minimize risk of teleporting into the snake.
A snake collision.
Snake
These
collision.
are all calculations. Doing his head.
George is instantly that meme with all the
With
math
all his-
floating behind his head.
So you asked her to describe it as well as she could so that you could visualize it in order to teleport to the room.
Yes.
That is fucking brilliant. and also insane.
I totally forgot he had this damn cape.
I forgot he couldn't do it without having been there already or seeing it.
Right. I need to visualize it.
He's going to visualize it, so he has to describe it to the best of her ability.
Right.
All right.
You're going to end up on some other plane in some other storeroom.
That's right.
Probably something she
Within
dreamt of. in the
500
past.
feet.
All right, George. She kind of nods nervously, but looks like she's ready to go.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, you whisk your cape, and just as a guard seems to walk by the portcullis and just kind of glance inside, but obviously can't see anything because you guys are 10 feet deep. You swirl it around and disappear in a puff of brimstone. I'm going to put you on the GM layer for a second because I got to move you about 130 feet this way.
Oh no.
You guys have
We're splitting the party hard, guys.
George is gonzo.
I knew leaving George by himself was the right choice.
George,
Oh, we were gonna get out of this alive.
you appear down here. George, do you have dark vision?
I don't, but I have my my bandana on.
Oh, true.
Let me see. Hold on. I got this.
So you have 30 feet?
True sight. My wisdom modifier is a 2. It's out to 30 feet.
I will give you 30.
So 30 feet.
Yeah, I'll give you 30. And you should have bright light then, too. That is true sight, so I assume you get to just look. All right, so George, you appear 5 feet up, and you both fall suddenly. You kind of fall onto a barrel, and it's painful, but won't make you roll for damage. And Dala falls down. Oof. And as soon as you do, you look around, and you see stacks of sturdy wood crates, bundles of cloth, and clay amphorae litter the floor. And immediately, this giant green form kind of descends from a little nest area in the ceiling, and this huge green head, snake head, comes down. But you see an intelligence in its eyes that you don't see in a normal snake. And it looks at you and opens its mouth and says, "Hello." All right, back to the other group. What are you all doing?
Good job, George. I think we were just about to whip off our masks and go. We were here all along.
Surprise!
So yes, I will. What I'll do is
You're just doing things in the dark because you can't see anything.
You know what? That's true. I can't actually. I was gonna whisper to her privately so that
Let me be your guide.
the guards can't hear. Theron, point me in the direction of the priestess. I got a finger guns at her.
All right.
Finger guns.
I use my tongue.
Ooh.
Why is your tongue so involved in this session?
Because I imagine it would tickle the most.
Most effective tool.
those snake tickles.
Sense a lot with their tongue.
Yeah.
Earwax.
He could taste the last time I showered. It was not recently.
Yeah.
He takes one once. He
I
takes a
will.
shower once a year, whether he needs one or not.
That's right.
And it's coming up to a year.
I will finger guns at priestess, and in her head she will hear. And what if the adventurers were, let's say, in the room with you, and were in fact amenable to your terms and wanted to work with you, save your kind and its own, their own?
What if indeed?
I'll say, perhaps you ought to have your guard step outside for a moment so that we all might speak privately.
There's no guards in here.
She has
Oh, there's no guards in
a
here? I
well,
don't know that.
No, he doesn't. He assumes there's guards everywhere.
As far as I know, there are snake people everywhere.
She smiles and has a throaty laugh and says, "You do not take me for a fool, do you?"
Not,
Just
not
playing.
anymore.
Not anymore, exactly.
Not when you say it like that. She says, "I am amenable to your terms. Powerful you are, clever that you are, getting past some of our less clever members, but not
Here's a
me."
pop quiz for you to even demonstrate our power further. How many of us are in the room with you right now? I bet you're wrong.
The answer may surprise you. She rests her hand very pointedly on the urn and says, "Do not threaten me here."
No threat. I was just curious how many of us you know are here.
She sighs and says, "You tell me if we are to work together. Perhaps to prove your loyalty, one of you will submit yourselves to the ritual of the Night Serpent. And you can
that sounds-
truly become Arcane. And
Yeah, I'm
all
good.
of the gifts that entails."
Yeah. No. Oh, Manix is contemplating that.
What kind of gifts are we talking about here?
Snake arms.
A
Will I
form.
become virile again?
The
It's
snake on
been
his
so
shoulder
long.
says.
Our forms are much more powerful than those from apes.
I don't know. We've killed quite a few of your forms already.
Poison does nothing to us. Magic we shirk off. If
I don't dislike it.
you can survive the transformation,
Oh, that's unlikely.
Yeah, how many hit points do you have
Yeah,
again?
I don't know what it takes, but it's unlikely.
10d10.
Manix hold out his wiry arms.
you must bathe with snakes in the blood of the victims while imbibing our temple concoctions.
That sounds terrible.
It is our
Um,
sacred rites.
Can I attempt some kind of arcana check or investigation or whatever, talk to her and try to get a sense of like what actually I will have to like survive or do if and
You
what
want to become
also-
Yuan-ti?
Yeah, also what would like I don't want to grow like snake arms or any of that shit. Like I'm all right with like maybe, some scales on my backside or what have you.
Yeah, if you want to roll either history or arcana or something that would maybe recall some knowledge about the Yuan-ti. Probably some kind of intelligence-based check.
Yeah. Let's Connor's actually not that high. History's decent.
How smart is Mannix?
Surprisingly, yeah. Investigation's my highest, but I don't know if investigation would be applicable here.
I don't think you're investigating anything particularly. This is more like recalling information, or you could, unless you want to just pointedly ask her.
I'll roll with. I'll do a history check.
Okay.
See if I. All right.
Mannix, you would know that it is probably a gruesome ordeal, and it's not so much a question of hit points as it is physical exhaustion to get through it. And you know that you might come out of it with some kind of mental anguish. But she's not lying about the Yuan-ti form and the powers that would come with it. And you would know that, first of all, you would know that to transform from a human into a Yuan-ti, you would end up as a pureblood, which would be basically a human with some kind of physical snake parts, but enough to where you could pass as human if you wanted to, which is how a lot of purebloods ingratiate themselves in, and usually the purebloods are used as like spies and scouts and all that because they can pass as human. But you know, you would probably gain things like dark vision and talking to snakes and obviously the poison stuff.
This doesn't sound terrible, guys.
I mean, if I didn't already have dark vision, I would do it.
Theron, you're as conscious as the snake on his shoulder.
Do it. Like, immediately.
Snake whisper, do it. Like a literal devil on my shoulder.
One of us.
Suppose I did this.
Do it.
That would solidify a relationship, and we'd be able to gather what we need from you to save your people, obviously. Get box away from Osnisi, take care of this Asirak fella. Hopefully your leader man won't decay to death.
The only problem is that I do not speak for Osnisi. You would still have to go before him and talk to him and convince him of what you have told me. But if you are one of the people, that would go a long way.
I'm doing this for the team, guys. I should know. This is not a selfish choice. I'm doing this because we need it done, not because dark vision sounds cool.
Power.
Don't try. Just do it. Don't act. Don't say that. We know. I support you 100%.
in whatever form you choose. I support you.
Too much. All right, priestess.
I love that the Roll20, it just looks like Mannix has a snake on in his token right now too. This is very appropriate. It's just that snake token is on top of yours.
It's foreshadowing.
It is foreshadowing.
I'll go through your process. We'll talk to your leader. We'll take that cube and we'll restore strength to your people.
Maybe.
May I ask one more boon of you?
I don't know. It sounds like I'm going to have to drink blood. This better be a pretty minor thing.
There is an artifact within the tomb. The black opal crown. I have seen visions of it of its great power. It will lead the Arcane to a new age of glory. You will become one of us, and you will share our glory. Bring us this crown. Defeat this Serac.
How many people are they killing to bring their glory?
Yeah. Yeah, what do we have some sense of what she's talking about? Is she talking about like world domination shit?
I mean, you're pretty sure the Yuan-ti are not like a benevolent democratic people, so
Right.
they worship a
And do
night
we have some
serpent who
sense
they
of what-
believe will devour the world, metaphorically and
Alright.
semi-literally.
As long as they don't devour the dwarves, I'm fine with it.
Mannix doesn't intend to have any loyalty to the Yuan-ti after, just FYI. Like he despite his previous words, he is doing this for purely selfish reasons.
I imagine Mannix going, "Don't worry, guys. I won't really be Yuan-ti." Then he like turns around and winks at the Yuan-ti. He's like, "Oh, crap."
Yeah, like, not we get the right person.
I said the quiet part loud, the loud part quiet.
Yep. So yeah, I'll say that. Sure, I'll be on your team, 100%, priestess. With no intention of actually serving them as a people.
So she puts like magical bonds on you.
Like genie style. Kong, Kong.
I've already got a fucking witch in my eye. Like my body is becoming just real estate for other
It's free real estate. The high priestess says, the ritual will commence tonight in the Fane. You will be prepared.
Got any advice for preparations?
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
You must submit
Don't
yourself
be yourself.
wholly to the ritual. Do not try and pull back, or you will not survive.
You're gonna be a snake
Also,
man.
don't eat anything for 8 hours before the procedure.
No food or
Got it.
water.
She
This
says,
is going to end very poorly.
in the meanwhile, you may have free roam.
Can we get we got a turtle in a hole over along the ways. Can we get him out of there?
She says, that would not be amenable. Unless you are escorting them to the slave grotto where they are working in the caves. But you are not slave masters. You are Orok.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We're just the ones who could help incite the slaves to overthrow you and Rosny. I believe those were your words earlier.
She says, if we cannot cure him, we must destroy him. The people cannot survive with a weak leader.
All right. What do you suggest we do for when's nighttime? Like, how long are we going to hang out?
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
You got a bar. You got this place. She did say that the Zondala did say they were making concoctions somewhere. Let's go have a drink before my big night.
It's like, I cannot. I would advise steering clear of the throne room. You do not need to raise any suspicions. And I would advise keeping your friends imprisoned for now. Isa will come collect them shortly.
Maybe we'll just hang out at the prison area then until it's time.
That seems lame, but go ahead.
I don't know where I've got no idea where we might even want to go around here.
Ishmael says, well, darlings, there's always the harem.
I mean, hey, if I'm about to be a snake person, I might as well, get in where I fit in.
Get in where I fit in.
Don't fit in there yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Shortly.
When in Rome, it just disrobes.
This is my life now, guys.
This is my life.
He's never returned.
I've accepted the way of the snake people. Yeah, all right. We'll let Ishmael show us around, make sure we don't go anywhere that's not safe for us to go.
Hopefully we'll pass by that storeroom that we don't know about yet.
That's right.
Exactly.
That would be most wise.
We'll hear shouting at some point.
Yeah. I look forward to adding you to our ranks. She
Just so we're
nods.
clear, my first duty as a Yuan-ti is going to be taking the cube into the bad place and solving your problem. I'm not sticking around here. Just FYI, right?
You are no use to me here.
Good,
Your
we're on the same page.
usefulness is carrying out our task. Bring me the crown.
Oh,
Cure
like that.
our
Sure.
Lord and bring our people to glory.
All right.
See, Manic's making a list. Crown.
Yeah, glory.
Glory. Crown.
Night serpents? Question mark.
Permanent transformation. It's going to be a hell of a Wednesday, guys.
I got a lot on my to-do list.
I can just imagine like the witch who's watching from your eyeballs, just eating popcorn. Like, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is gonna.
She waves her hands in a dismissive motion. Ishmael quickly ducks his way out.
Okay. At the very least, can we say we went to go check on George, make sure he's okay?
Hey, you can do whatever you want.
Well, I'm wary just because they said that there's like areas you shouldn't go, but I don't know where those areas are.
Oh.
I
Ishmael-
mean, I can go look for him.
Yeah.
You're a snake. Go wander the palace.
Snakes everywhere. Theron fits right in.
Mm-hmm.
Except those other snakes, they smoke.
They're the cool snakes. They won't let me talk to them.
Yeah, they never invited me into their.
Never get to go to the parties, the cool snake parties. Yeah, Mannix, you can kind of wander into the sacrificial chamber, which is stained with blood.
And
And
starts waving at all the snakes. Hello, fellow Yuan-ti.
Can't wait to sacrifice with you guys.
that sure was a hell of a sacrifice the other day, right?
That guy really screamed.
Never stop screaming. Well, so you can't really see anything from this side of the portcullis, but Theron Snake could easily wiggle his way in. I guess you can go through the portcullis.
Oh, is it down? Well, it was always the same amount of shadowing. when it was
Okay.
up and down, so I
Yeah.
can-
Let's assume it's down, and there's a lever on the bottom, which there are these brood guards everywhere. So if you want to try to talk to them or do something, you can go from there. But currently, the portcullis is down. Or Theron Snake could obviously go in without much trouble.
I'm just gonna slither on by.
Okay.
Okay.
Theron, you look down at the pit and see neither George nor Zendala.
All right, we're on the same page now, at least. Sort of. We
Yeah,
don't know
you
where
can start
George went.
panicking.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is a good moment to go back to George and Zendala. Meanwhile, in this corner, you all have appeared from teleporting into the storeroom, and what looks like a gigantic snake is just kind of staring at you, blinking, almost lazily, and just says, "Hello. Who are you?"
At first, George had a moment of panic fear in his eyes, but as soon as he heard the snake's voice, he has to restrain from cracking in laughter. George says, "Hello, my name is George. This is my friend Zenny."
She glares at you.
Appreciates.
Yeah.
"Shh. Who are you?"
Snake says, Azimaz does not recognize you. You are not one of the snake folks.
Depends. When did you get your last update report? They're always hiring new people, turnover.
You are new slaves, then.
Yes, but we don't like to call ourselves slaves. But yes, we've come to gather stores from the storehouse.
I see. And the snake kind of like slithers around and just gigantic undulating body just rotating around. What can Azimaz get for you? George, you see what looks like a lot of more mundane stuff, like some food and like papers, and there's no weaponry in here that you can tell. Just a bunch of general storage equipment. Although you do think you see enough supplies in like one crate to cobble together some healing kits, which is probably the more useful thing that you see.
A party. I need stores for a party.
Azimaz is not familiar with party.
Oh, it's where we all get together and celebrate and dance and eat prisoners.
A ritual of the night
Yes.
serpent.
Yes, we're on the same page now.
A new Orokne to be born. How exciting.
I know, right? I can't contain myself either. Tell me, do you go to these parties?
No, Azimaz guards this storeroom. And, of course, the slave caves beyond.
Oh, well, wouldn't you love to join one of these parties?
It would be nice to be invited.
Oh, well, I'm inviting you now.
George, give me a deception check with advantage.
This is like a waiter at like like a waiter saying, "Oh yeah, you can have some."
Yeah,
This is
basically.
not your party. But hey, the waiters have all the power.
Waiters, yeah.
George says, obviously, I'm not a slave. Look at my weapons here. They wouldn't let a weapon walk around with a slave walk around with weapons.
Do you own the weapons? The weapons own you, George. The giant snake looks at your weapons with eyes glittering and says, I see. A great warrior. Very strange looking.
But I can do all the guarding for you so you can enjoy this party. I look strong, don't I?
Yes. Quite powerful. When is the ritual?
Later.
I see.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
That was the best possible answer given the situation.
Yeah, it was. In the future.
I mean, you gotta go soon so you to get that seat. I mean, no offense. But
I have
you're
no
kinda-
ass.
you're a little large, so you gotta get there first. No offense.
Let all the little children sit on your tail. You become a seat.
You've been doing such an excellent job guarding this place. Why not go sit back, get a few concoctions, and just relax before the ritual?
That sounds wonderful. Shall we leave together?
Are you talking to me? I thought I'm guarding the storehouse. Who will guard the storehouse if we leave together?
Ah, you are the guardian.
Yes.
Excellent.
Hence the weapons on the back of my shell.
Centala just looks at you like just shocked at first, and her eyebrows have just gone precipitously higher and higher the longer this conversation has gone on. She looked ready to like fucking dance with this thing with spells going, and now she's just like, ah. You see the snake nod and begin to unravel its extremely large, thick body and just scoot along into the hallway. Slowly.
I'm imagining a giant snake is gonna like enter their bar, and everyone's gonna. Yes. What the fuck are you doing?
What are
here?
you doing
And
here?
as he leaves, he says, George winks at him and says, keep this our little secret.
Snake
Bad
just
influence,
giddily
George.
like slithers off into the hallway towards the right that you can see, George.
Good
Oh
luck,
my god,
Maddox.
it's gonna be it's gonna be great if Mannix is in the middle of going through with this transformation thing. George has absolutely no idea what's going on and just comes in and sees it and just like attacks or something.
They're killing Maddox. Let's save him.
Yeah, what is he doing? George, we'll stick with you for a moment. You are in a storeroom now alone. There is a hallway to your northeast and a door to your southwest.
You know what we haven't done in a long time? Perception checks at the door.
We haven't done that in a long time. You're right.
Yeah.
That old dungeon staple.
Boom.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, George.
Listen to that door. So excited.
George, on the other side, you can hear the crackling of a fire. You can hear the clanging of pickaxes on rock. Lots of them. You hear the muttering of voices, what sound like human voices. And then you hear kind of a shuffling of what sounds like a non-human figure right near the door. And the pickaxe is like echoing off a fairly large, what sounds like a large cave. You hear all the things with a 25. You echolocate this whole fucking room.
I know. I can see every facial feature and mole on each human here. I mean, Zenny, come here. I hear humans.
Stop
and
calling me
pickaxes and rocks.
Too late.
What the hell are you doing with that door?
Shh, listen, there's humans on the other side. Pickaxes.
Who cares?
Are they slaves?
George is crestfallen.
Probably. That's where they put some of their slaves to try to carve out more areas for this temple. They're sure to be guarded.
All right. Well, what do you suggest we do now?
I don't know. What is your plan?
This is the plan.
That's a badass thing to say, but
It's so on character.
it's very on brand.
All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Follow me.
What is the plan? Where are your friends? What's going on?
Wait, isn't Zendala like hopping with her hands manacled and her feet manacled?
Yeah, basically.
I thought we left the manacles behind.
Oh,
She
that's
went-
yeah. You're right. We said that when she teleported out, she could leave the manacles. We also say that I totally forgot about this, but Celeste, at some point you felt the familiar just disappear from your backpack, and you know that obviously wizards have the ability to just shunt their familiar away at any point.
All right.
Goodbye,
well,
little
George-
friend.
George and Zendala are just gonna sneak around.
It's the George and Zendala show.
That's right.
Donna just sneaking around.
Let's get to here. Stealthily look around the corner.
George, the hallways appear lit.
You're in a storeroom. What shit is there to grab?
Yeah.
As I mentioned, it's a lot of like rope and lanterns and paper and
it's not
food.
actually
It's
exciting
supplies. I did mention there's enough to gather some healers kits if you want to do that. But otherwise, it's a whole bunch of just very mundane
Gotcha.
stuff.
Nothing of interest to George.
George, you come up to a kind of a crossroads hallway. To your left, it ramps upwards into what looks like a larger area. And to your right is a new crossroads with hallways going north, east, and south.
Let me perceive again which way we should go.
It's the old divining rod. George, it all kind of looks the same to you.
All right, left it is. Let's go left, Denny.
Are you sure?
Yes. I can hear everything.
I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this way leads back up to the entrance eventually.
Oh, let's go the other way then.
I see.
I don't know anything about anywhere beyond here. That giant Fane area where they transform the Yuan-ti, that's to the north. That's probably where you sent that snake thing.
Oh, we gotta go the other way, I think. Let me listen again.
Do you actually have a plan?
Yes. What do I hear?
You hear what sounds like the bubbling of liquid and some glasses clinking to your south. You can't really hear anything beyond the door to your east. And then to the north, you hear a large snake form kind of shuffling and then seem to like stop. And you can smell like incense burning and the bubbling of liquid to the north.
People screaming.
All right, Zendala, you look human.
What
Here's what
dare
we're gonna
you?
do. Let us go back to the storeroom. We're going to open the door, and you're gonna yell out, "We're free!
What?
We're no longer slaves. We're free!"
What on earth are you talking about?
Okay, let's do it.
That's the plan?
Yes. All right, George throws the door open.
Oh my
Step
God, what?
aside. Do it.
I don't. What was my line?
No, we're free. We're no longer slaves.
She just ducks and hides behind a storage container. Gods help us.
Yell it.
She's not yelling it.
Damn it, you.
The doors did open up.
Oh, they didn't?
No, the doors did open up, and you see a monstrous kind of snake humanoid step through just curiously. But before we deal with that and go back to the others, why don't we take a break? 10 minutes, and we will return with these shenanigans.
Damn it, Zendala.
All right. Let us come back from break time.
I'm glad we took a break because I have an idea.
Oh, now you have a plan. I see. Well, hold that thought because we need to shift back to the other members of your party who have just discovered that you are, in fact, not in the prison cell. So what do you all do with this newfound information?
So how do they know? Am I just like signing to them in Snake?
That's a good point.
How do they know what?
That I'm the only one right now that knows that he's not there, right?
Oh, true. Yeah. I suppose you could not tell them. that is where we left off, though. Yeah, you just saw that there is still a fire newt in one of the pits, and what looks like just another pureblood, but he looks like he's like mumbling and kind of insane in another pit. But the pit that you left George and Zendala in is just completely empty, and doesn't look like it's been opened either.
Okay. Is there a way to open the other one? Can I go check out the other pits? The other cells?
And you can easily look in them. To open them, you would need to work this like crank on one side to actually open the grate up. And then the idea is you winch it back down into the pit, and then the prisoner hooks the claw onto their manacles, and then you literally lift them out of this 10-foot pit.
But I'm just a poor snake.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I go back. I start doing like a little slithering up and down. I do a little helicopter with the tail.
Oh no! It's emergency signal.
Did you go over these snake signs before?
And I just take off down the hall, assuming Mannix knows what I'm talking about.
I know that sign. George has done something crazy.
Guess I could like form my body into letters.
He gets to GEO, and I'm like, oh, George. Okay,
right.
let's go. I don't want to go around asking other snake people. If someone were to escape, where would they go?
Fellow snake. The monstrous humanoid snake things just kind of glare at you uneasily as you seem to be all around this ritualistic room.
What do we know what's to the north?
Ishmael said that was a room to more priests.
Oh, okay. That's not what we want. Out of the way. We're jogging down the hallway.
Yeah, Ishmael kind of motions you back down the far end of the hallway, basically where you guys came in.
Okay. I'll actually tell Ishmael what's going on. Hey, listen, I don't want you to freak out. But
They were in the room with you. They heard everything. But I guess...
No, I'm not George.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because he heard everything about what's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta talk about what's gonna happen to me later. But right now,
I'm going through some changes.
And not to freak you out, but our turtle friend and our elf wizard friend may be out of their jail cell, and we don't know where they are.
And this was part of the plans, yes, darlings?
Not even a little bit.
Oh. I see.
It's what he does.
This is improv all the way.
Where on earth would he get to?
With this guy, absolutely anywhere and everywhere is a possibility.
How did he escape?
Once again, there's many possibilities. We're trying not to think too hard about him. Yeah,
We'll just start labeling off ways, and it like
all the different ways. George.
Not one of us remembers the damn cape, and
Right.
Mhm.
So, anything weird going on around here that might point to, our friends? Maybe we should look around.
I have no idea, darlings. I've been in there in that priestess's chamber with you. I suppose we should look for him then.
Yeah.
All right. Just play it cool. You're just another Auroch in this
Mhm.
temple. Manix adopts a saunter.
I'm just a regular Auroch.
Oh, fellow Aurochs.
Hello, fellow Aurochs. You never did bother to learn the terminology.
Nope.
We're all Aurochs now.
That's right. So in this room, you see a giant 18-foot high statue of a stone snake coiled up, staring menacingly out at the entrance. To the left, you see a pen with a triceratops in it, just kind of
Ooh.
lazily munching on some...
Live one.
Yes, it is a live triceratops.
Ooh. I was picturing a writing pen. There we go.
Yeah. Just going around in a small circle.
It seems to be just big enough for it to kind of chill, and it's just kind of eating out of a little trough. You see some wagons full of some various just goods and things. A number of those bestial creatures kind of mill about. They're moving things around from like one wagon to the other. In the western, there's a pair of dark alcoves, and when you look over there, you feel a chill go up your spine as you see a pair of basilisks. Which you all would know, I think this is common knowledge, but their stare alone can start to turn you to stone. And currently...
Say, Harry Potter taught me you're not supposed to look at a basilisk.
Yeah. Currently, their heads are very pointedly staring down. And it takes you a moment, but you look at them, and they're chained up to the alcove. And they're very calm. They just kind of just staring down almost dutifully. And then you see that same kind of fat Yuan-ti pureblood who's got kind of patches of scales up and down his arms, just munching out of just a bag of something, and just kind of looks at you all as you walk by.
Right. They don't go too close to the basilisks. Does this stone statue look special at all, or is anything interesting about it?
You can roll to check it out if you wish.
I will investigate the statue.
Hey guys, just checking out the statue I've seen every day for the last...
I love this statue. It's my favorite statue.
Hey there, baby.
I've never really looked at this statue. I pass by it every day. Manix, you're pretty sure that is a non-transforming magical death statue. It is just a regular statue, albeit a very impressive one.
Great.
You do notice along the area there appears to be what look like chewed bits of stone, and some of them appear to be like limbs and pieces of bodies. And again, your eyes glance at the basilisks.
Oh, they feed them people. They turn to stone, or some combination thereof.
What's the security situation in this pen?
Minimal. It looks like it is just there to keep the Triceratops out, but you imagine if it was really angry enough, it's a metal pen, but judging by the Triceratops looks, I mean it's currently docile, but it's not like electrified or anything.
All right, we need to fight the Triceratops, piss him off. Go on a rampage.
Why?
George.
Why is that the plan?
What's
Snake people, they're evil, right?
I mean, they are. Feed people to
We're gonna
basilisks.
stop it before Manx becomes one of them.
No, wait.
Wait, I thought you were 100% on board with this snake plan.
Wink.
The snake is giving me mixed messages.
That's what snakes do, man.
Or stop them right after Manx becomes one of them.
I could have stopped this at any point, but I chose not to. Ishmael says, right, so down here, what you're looking at is the security gong. Ring that once, and that calls all the Yuan-ti ready for a ritual, which is apparently what you've signed up for. Ring it twice, and that's the alarm. Brings everyone on a high alert. To the south, he points down these pillars. There's a storeroom, some kind of magical lock on it. I haven't been inside. Hallways
Oh, that's
lead...
definitely where George is.
Yeah. Hallways, beyond that, lead down to a storeroom and the distillery. And then, of course, the Yuan-ti nests beyond there. And then down to this ramp from the gong is the Fane, where the ritual takes place. Beyond that, you will find more of the harem. Of course, my home. And beyond that, there is the throne room where Raz Nisi holds court. There is a river that runs through the back of the temple as well. I believe it even exits out somewhere. Might be a useful exit strategy if things go a little haywire. Of course, there is the giant beast that is Raz Nisi's pet that lives in the river, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure, darlings.
Kind of beast.
Oh, the multi-headed kind. You love it.
You can understand me.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Probably, yeah, you can understand. Actually, he's not. They're not actually a Yuan-ti.
Oh,
So.
right. Okay. I've got the analysis paralysis on what we should do right now.
So hypothetically, if I were to study that Triceratops for morphing purposes, I know he's a huge beast. Could I still do that, or does it have to be a regular beast?
Let me check out our house rules. We haven't actually done that in a while. So you can either spend an hour observing a beast to make a nature check, or directly interact with a beast for 10 minutes within 15 feet and make an animal handling check. And the DC is equal to 10 plus the beast CR. Triceratops is a beast, I will say that. I will say that it is, I think, beyond...
It is. It's a 5.
Okay. Because your is 1/3, is that the rule for Druid?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I mean, it could be something to add to your repertoire, though, in case you end up playing this Druid into the upper levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as a fucking snake, you could easily, like...
I'm just going to, like, wind around its legs. Like figure eights.
So normally a Triceratops would probably be very upset about a snake being that close to it. But thankfully for you, this one does seem to be particularly well trained around snakes. So it just kind of shrugs.
Just a snake.
Yeah, you could say that.
So Dimension Door is like a teleport spell, right? So it's not like I can move through doors or walls with it.
I think so.
It uses the word teleport, so to me it seems like it's just moving like from one spot to another, not necessarily through.
Right. I think it's exactly what George just did too, which is you can just teleport to any other spot within range, which is any spot within 500 feet.
Yeah, and same thing. You can visualize it, or you can describe it by stating direction and distance.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's exactly what George's thing is, except maybe not quite the range.
His is a cape.
And his is a cape, yeah.
Which is a little bit cooler.
Admittedly, yeah.
You could wear it.
I mean, if you want to flutter your, whatever garments you're wearing while you cast it, that's totally up to you.
So I want to come down here and check out, because I'm still invisible, right?
You are still invisible, yeah. Your invisibility lasts for an hour. Yeah, and however long that conversation was, which was not terribly long, is however long that's elapsed.
Okay. I'm going to check things out down here then.
Okay. Gillian, along this hallway, you see beautiful wall reliefs. And all of them are of like Yuan-ti just terrorizing Chultans and this giant serpent like encircling the world and just devouring everything. You see you see a particularly glorified Yuan-ti with a top half as this imposing man and the bottom half a snake tail. You see him wielding a flaming sword and a black crown encircling his head, and he's appeared to be leading the Yuan-ti. And you see him like opening this gate along the world, and the snake like comes out. It's all this big long like series of giant pictures and murals along the wall.
I'm gonna be one of them shortly.
This just like goes and goes down here. Huh?
Wow. Killian's just gone.
She just took a stroll down the...
All right, so Reese, or Theron, did you want to do the animal handling check then? Or the nature check? Animal handling is the direct one, and then nature is observing for an hour. Animal handling is for 10 minutes within 15 feet, and observation is within 150 feet for 1 hour. DC is 10 plus, it would be 5 for the Triceratops, so a DC 15.
Wow.
There you go. You wind around that Triceratops and become entwined with its knowledge and gain...
That was weird.
Gain that beast... Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah.
You feel that it would be, a very powerful form, but that would be, hashtag life goals.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were so big until I saw this map. Like, holy crap.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to gore people someday. Life goals.
That's right. All right, so you guys are up there. Gillian is in the hallway. Gillian, as you walk by... I'm going to actually back you up a few steps, if you don't mind. Because as you walk by... well, you could probably already see, can't you? This hallway, so you're coming up to a crossroads. You see...
Oh, George is in there. Okay.
Your southwest.
I did not see him before.
Yep. You're running around these hallways invisibly and you suddenly hear a commotion coming from the southwest, and you see Zendala cowering behind some crates, George hiding behind a door, making some kind of weird sound, and then a bestial serpent walking through. George, take it away.
Well, George, seeing that Zendala won't do the thing, does this guy see me yet?
Not in this very half second right now. I'm punting it to you for the moment.
All right. Well, George, oh, well, hello, darling.
The beast turns towards you and immediately gives off a rattling cry.
Oh, don't mind this form of mine. I killed one of the new prisoners and took his form and his weapons.
George, I need you to roll initiative. This thing is
What?
about to attack you.
What? You didn't hear my talk?
You realize too late that perhaps the Yuan-ti do not know that the that Ishmael is a doppelganger that takes people's forms.
So much for my plan.
Gillian, you may also roll initiative since you are in the vicinity, and I'll do for Zendala. Who wants to control Zendala for the moment?
I will.
I warn you, she does not have very many spell slots, but she can perform some spells.
Okay.
All right, so at the moment it appears to be just this beast, although, George, you can see beyond. There is a... actually, you can't see beyond, can you? Nope, never mind. You're behind the door.
Well, I hope I
Gillian...
step out when it comes out.
Yeah. Gillian, you can kind of see in the cave a number of what look like just normal humans, not even chained up, just kind of dredgingly working at these pickaxes in this cavern. And you see a crackling fire, and illuminated by this fire is a Yuan-ti who's got an upper half of a man and the bottom half of a snake. And he's got a mirror, and it appears to be just like preening himself on this mirror and just barely paying any attention.
Where is that?
This is beyond the door
Like-
in here.
Back here somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, where this you see this beast, this bestial Yuan-ti just walk through, which these guys look like this.
Mm.
They're all kinds of monstrous. George, you...
Snakes, like lizard men.
Yeah, you get the jump on him.
And I can't see any of Zendala's stuff.
Oh, yeah, I need to add that.
Why can't this thing understand me?
Yeah, this
Too
thing
stupid for
appeared...
your-
Yeah, it took one look at you and immediately launched into combat mode.
Man. All right. First attack.
All right, should be under party NPCs. I need to drain her spell slots, though, because she does not have all these spell slots.
Too late.
I know. She used... Well, I mentioned before in the last session, she used her last one. She's got 2 level 1s. There you go. She's got cantrips.
That's all
though,
she
too.
has?
Yep. She was a prisoner, and she spent a lot of her spells. She spent her last level 2 spell slot on Gillian to invisibilize her. She's got 2 level 1 spell slots, and then she does have her cantrips.
Oh, shit.
She was a prisoner, to be fair. George, a 13 is not going to do it.
Okay. Second attack. 18.
18 will hit.
I will that and also do a trip attack. So add
Ooh.
in a 8. So I can add that to my attack damage roll.
So it's 9 plus 6.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then he's gonna make a strength save of 15.
A strength save. Actually, not too bad at strength. Oh, but you caught him off guard. Bad. I rolled a 3.
Yep.
So he is knocked down. Is that right? Yep, knocked prone.
Yep.
All right, so you slash at him and then manage to just do that cool like leg kick maneuver, and he falls over.
Yep. It's down on the ground. And then one more attack.
Dog shaking was an interesting sound effect for the prone. Shook. Yeah, you've got advantage because he's prone. 21 hits. For 13.
13. And he's still up?
Physically he's down, but he's still alive, yes.
He's still alive. Alright, we'll action surge this guy.
Oh boy.
Oh, still got advantage on him. Oh.
Oh, the crit, George.
Just comes out slashing.
Comes out swinging.
How? often can I use my sneak attack?
Only once per round, sir. I know.
Once per turn. Okay.
Once per turn, sorry.
Right, so do some of that. And then I have my bonus
damage.
action.
Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Zendal is a sorcerer, right?
Yes.
And then I will do that.
20. How many? Fuck you, stupid fighters.
I don't understand.
He's just a whirlwind of doom.
I have my regular attack,
Uh-huh.
my extra attack, and then
Uh-huh.
my 2-weapon fighting with the bonus. Then I did action surge.
Yeah, action surge. Okay.
We're just in the 2 attacks.
And
Is that 2
Attack plus the
attacks?
extra attack.
Yep.
Yeah. You
George.
can do it.
Yeah. Gillian, you are prepared, and Zendal looks like she's prepared to unleash on this thing. But George, you do an insane combination of whirlwind attacks, point him to the ground and everything, and you kill him in that single opening volley. Now, I will give you, all three of you, basically, I guess you and Gillian, a chance to react in some way, because you did make some noise, but now you did kill this creature before it had a chance to go. So how do you want to respond to that? Temporarily, you're not in combat, but you feel like you're about to maybe draw some attention, at least from this one Malison who appears to be in here and was momentarily distracted.
He didn't see us?
Yeah, I mean, you literally, this thing opened the door, walked in, and you just brutalized it in the span of like 5 seconds. So how do you want to... You feel like the attention... Correct, yeah, that one.
Which is how rude. I was just trying to invite him to a party.
Gillian, do you have any responses?
My initial response is to like run the opposite direction.
And scene.
Leave George to his nonsense. Just
So here's the thing: George doesn't even know I'm here yet.
That is correct.
I'm still invisible, and I was like, "Damn it, I'm gonna have to like fight this thing."
Although
and lose
George-
my invisibility.
George currently
George
has
does have
blind
to-
sight. He has a blind sight with his bandana. So if you get within 30 feet of him and he happens to look over at your direction, then he can see you.
Oh, then maybe he does know. I don't know.
Well, I haven't looked at you
He
yet.
hasn't turned around yet, but he can actually see anything within 30 feet of him.
Well, because I do have polymorph, so I guess worst comes to worst, I could also like polymorph into a snake after we, fight these guys down here. So
Can I tell this thing? Is this like a same creature, or can it understand me? Like, can I tell just by looking at him?
The Malisons do speak their unique language of like common plus draconic. But George, you realize that you do not look anything like a pureblood or a Yuan-ti at all, and obviously the Broodguard just immediately was hostile to you.
I'm trying to play the role of the doppelganger.
But nobody... So what you would probably realize, nobody knows that Ishmael is a doppelganger. Ishmael is undercover as a doppelganger, pretending to be a pureblood.
Damn it. Terrible disguise.
So my reaction is, well, I don't know if I know George can see me then, is to like wave at him and be like get the F out. Like, we're going this way.
we're going this way, sucker.
And Zendal is like, what the?
Yeah, Zendal is
Yeah.
like, are we fighting? Are we getting out? What's the plan here?
Let's go. These things can't be fooled. Let's act gay for nothing. Let's go.
Well, you fooled that snake at least. That was good. Are you shutting the door or just leaving that door open?
I left it open. I just-
Okay.
Does
With the
Does
dead
Zendal
body
get
just
an
laying there.
action? Does Zendal get to take an action real quick?
Combat was generally over, but what are you thinking?
She's going to use 3 of her sorcery points to get a 2nd level spell slot back and go invisible her damn.
Wait a minute. I don't know if she has that ability.
She does. She is a sorcerer. As a 9th level sorcerer, she has 9 sorcery.
Well, she's not an actual PC sorcerer though. The only
Yeah.
ability she's got is that quickened spell, so she can use.
That's part of being a sorcerer.
Well,
it's meta magic.
For a PC, it is, yeah, but she doesn't actually have sorcerer points. She's an
See,
NPC
now that's the
facsimile.
bullshit.
She's an NPC facsimile of a sorcerer. Yeah,
It's on yourself.
No.
I know. She's trying to squeeze out as much.
It's a good try, though.
Yeah.
George grabs Zendala and just starts taking off after
Okay.
the invisible Gillian.
The invisible Gillian. Yeah, you hear a slight commotion behind you as you guys run off. What about top crew? What are y'all going? Where are y'all going?
I was just checking out this gong area over here with Celeste.
Okay, so you guys are up on
Yeah.
We're just looking at this big bell.
Checking out a gong, you know.
But like lifting the hammer, like we're gonna smash it.
You're just like
messing with,
Manny's like
what's his name?
he's a grandpa just like in a car going through the city like, hey, check out that statue. Hey, check out that gong. Well, that's a lot of blood in that fountain over there. Oh, you guys got a Denny's too? That's great. I love Denny's.
What the hell they get all that blood in that fountain? Wow. Do they do tours of the
It's
fountain?
just the worst touristy.
What I will do
What's this gong made of, guys?
is, yeah. So is there some sort of guide around here that can tell me about this gong?
It's about 18th century, right?
I do have, which I forgot about, but didn't really matter. My unseen servant is still just following me around.
Oh yeah, the
By the
naked guy with the bow tie.
He's still here.
The impressive pecs and abs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just gonna.
So
I'm actually gonna delete this because this is a railing, so you guys can see down.
oh shit! There's a giant snake down there.
So you guys see a giant snake who looks really excited to be there, and is just curled up in this area. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the GM layer though, because my wife hates snakes.
Good man.
But there's a giant. You see a giant snake like calmly shuffle and just curl itself up into this area and look attentively towards the middle of this room. You guys have no idea why.
Oh, okay. I did not put that together. I was like, oh no. Okay. Well, what I will do is, I will have my unseen servant. I will command him. So, my understanding of gongs.
I can't wait to learn about gongs this episode.
There's some gong anatomy.
Yes.
Yeah. My
Tell me
understanding
more,
of
Grandpa.
gongs.
They were invented
Is
by
that their
Charles
entire-
B. Gong.
That's right. 1912.
Such a complicated technology.
Such a weird... Oh no, gong and technology.
Little
Why
known fact, more complicated than a locomotive.
That's
That's
right.
right. The telephone was invented before the gong. My understanding
They
is
needed a
that
telephone first. They could pick up the dial and go, "Hey, listen to this jerkwad!" Bang, 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 bang. Click.
there's no use for it before that.
That's right.
My understanding is that the way a gong works is that it has to be complete. The way it hangs from
Roll an
completely-
intelligence check.
Manix knows about gongs.
I went to Gong University, damn it.
Two types of gongs.
Yeah.
I minored in gongs.
This is the double roped knot gong.
Is it flat or is it boss?
Particularly
Yeah, it's-
baritone.
Concave style, very popular. Indeed.
But ladies love it's that double rope action.
The sound it makes is beautiful. Just listen.
Yeah, very very bassy sound.
Bass gong?
Bass
Is that
gong.
Okay.
What is happening?
You've lost control.
I've lost control.
3 days later, Manix is still roaming around this gong.
My understanding of dogs is
I
will
believe
get
if we
this out.
take this mallet,
I'm gonna have him press his hands against the gong. His,
Right.
his
Part of the gong.
form,
Which part of the gong? Can you
like
say?
just the side, he's just gonna take his two formless hands and just hold the gong on either side. Because my
You
understanding
mean
is
the
that
edge.
Or
yeah,
the
whose
rim.
hands? What is happening?
the rim. Can somebody Google a diagram of gongs? Like,
Rochelle did.
Rochelle
Like,
already
oh.
did.
Port.
That's why we're messing with you.
I need the parts of the
oh, there
gong,
it is.
please.
All right. I knew I could count on you.
We always learn something.
That's right. So, probably in the rim area. That looks about right.
Oh god. Oh.
Oh, is this a bossed gong or a flat gong?
Why do you think
Tell
I
me.
asked you earlier?
Oh,
A crowd of Yuan-ti have now gathered, thinking like, "Oh yeah, thank God we finally got the
Oh
gong
my
expert
God.
here."
We've had this thing
Okay.
for over 100 years, had no idea what to do with it.
No idea how to operate it. Dendar be praised. He has sent us a gong expert.
Are you just using one of the skulls from who the basilisk ate and throwing it?
That's right. All right. The unseen servant is just going to hold the gong. So that's all I was trying to say. Because if someone hits a gong and someone's holding it, it won't make any noise, right? That's my understanding of how gongs work. If you hit a
Oh,
I mean, at this point,
Make
I'll
a
believe
gong
whatever you
noise.
tell me about gongs. It seems like you're pretty well versed.
I am the gong expert. I will tell you.
Everyone, I have figured out the trick to this gong. Don't hit it. All right.
Anyway, yes.
You're
Until I tell him
nice.
otherwise, he is holding that gong in place so he does not
Channing
make a loud
Tatum
sound.
and naked in a bow tie is currently holding
That's
onto this
right.
gong.
Holding on to this gong for life.
Yep.
I'm
Can it
glad
be
that
Joe
was important
Manganiello?
enough to spend 10 minutes on.
It could be Joe Manganiello, sure. That's actually more D&D appropriate, too.
Yeah.
Perpetually sweaty for some reason.
Much better looking.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that giant snake is a goofball, so I'm going to avoid him at all costs. I'm going to turn back and go the way I came.
So, just to describe this room, since you guys are on the balcony overlooking it, this appears to be an
Oh, yeah.
underground cathedral. At one end, a sculpted balcony perches atop 5 rearing stone serpents. You can see to the north. Blood dribbles from the serpent's jaw, falling into a semicircular basin, and from there flows along a sloped trough into a wide stone bowl set into the floor. South of the bowl is a mezzanine, promptly situated atop which is a cauldron of steaming broth that exudes fleshy odors. And that is where you see that snake curled up. And then you all are on the balcony on the west, which is holding the gong. You do see one of those arcane teleporters up on the balcony in the lifted high up. This is a big, I don't know what the ceiling is here, but it's a lot higher. That balcony right here where the snakeheads are is actually 40 feet up. You guys you guys on the balcony are 30 feet up versus the base of this area. So it's a very large area.
Okay. Very tall roof.
Yes.
Okay. I totally forgot what we were doing.
Banging the
Wandering.
gong.
That's right.
Running
I think you were just in here for gong repairs at this point. You just convinced yourself.
Just to really get a good look at that gong.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I was saying,
tell it. You go.
all I was saying is, then I'm going back up to try to like join back with the rest of the party in their gong inspection.
Yes. Gillian, you can actually lead George and Zadala because you actually made your way down here. You can effectively.
They can see
Well,
me, right?
hold on. Yeah. Is it a good thing that you lead George up into
Well, and that's the other thing. Yeah, you guys have to realize that in about a few seconds you're going to be within visible distance, and Doll is actually hanging back and going,
I have her arm. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, right.
Oh, you're dragging her? Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Maybe
she's still
you
going,
Well,
I'm blind beyond 30 feet, so I'm just following Gillian.
Oh boy.
maybe George should hang back then.
You're in charge of the George train currently, Gillian.
You're
I'm gonna tell him
responsible.
to hang back. Don't go any closer.
George throws Zendala behind one of the columns. He gets behind another column. And stuff.
There you go. Yeah, George, you can see up ahead that giant snake statue, a bunch of those bestial snake people, one of which you just murdered, kind of just hanging around there, chilling. And then beyond that, a metal pen with a triceratops with a snake slithering away from it.
With the look of satisfaction.
With a look of satisfaction. With extra
And-
DNA in its body.
I'll go up to Mannix and hiss in his ears, since apparently
That's the best way.
that's how we are communicating.
You're
These
gonna
days.
scare the ever-loving shit out of him because
Yeah.
he never can
Theron-
see you.
Theron laughs, so the snake sounds. Oh, Theron, you're back. Ooh. Oh no, Theron's not there. Oh god.
But no, I'll just whisper like, George is down there, and Zinni.
Senny. It's canon.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, how the hell did he get down there?
I don't think that's really pertinent right now.
Probably not.
I need you to figure out what to do with him down there.
This is a containment issue.
The past is not our concern. Hey, George, what you doing, man?
Wait, you're coming down to talk to me?
Yeah, well, I'm just
Hello there.
there's no snake people in this hallway. I'll just saunter down as if I'm walking down the hallway.
Extra nonchalantly.
That's right.
George points to the other direction. Look, I saved her.
Oh,
He
great.
just kind of sheepily says, "What the fuck?"
I don't know, lady.
I think we killed a guy back there.
I'm sure. Well, if you had George, surprised it was only one.
There was a giant snake. He told him to go to a party. I don't know what's happening.
Don't try to explain it. It'll only confuse me more.
Look, all we need to know is we made a friend down there today.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
I just made up some story about some ritual, and so don't worry about
Oh
it.
well, that's a happy coincidence. By the way, I'm turning into a snake person. Like,
What? Oh, as long as it's not a grung.
no grungs. I would never turn into a frog, man.
I have standards.
Especially with your frog statue that you always like. Abuse.
That's right.
So what happens now? What do we do? How
I
do we get out of
have no idea. So,
here?
do we have any at this point? Yeah. Is Ishmael around us still?
Yeah, Ish McCall looks mortified by everything that's happening. Just looks very nervous.
At this point,
Oh, honey, did that total get free?
I don't worry about it.
Look, we need to let that Triceratops out.
Why?
To wreak havoc.
If let's say, well, let's okay. Let's run through this. Our goal, our objective here is to get a cube. We were initially
Get out. To get a cube, what?
and get out.
Okay.
Step
Cube,
1,
get
get
out.
cube. Step 2, get out.
Do it.
We initially we're gonna go with the priestess lady just because we didn't want to die right there. But now if we're in an area where we can get to Rosnisi's room or wherever the cube is, we could let the Triceratops. We could do the thing. We could have the Ismakal, or who was it that said there was the secret entrance out of Rosnisi's room?
Ishmael said there was a secret, there was a river that went alongside the whole temple, and that near that river there was a point to, there was some kind of exit.
Okay.
They weren't sure on the details, but they did mention some kind of multi-headed beast.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later.
Table that.
If we can get to Rosnisi and get everyone else away from Rosnisi, like say through a rampaging Triceratops and a gong that's ringing, alarms, could we conceivably get the cube and just get out before the alarm ends and they all come back to where they're supposed to be?
Are you talking to your party or to Ishmael or what?
Everybody.
Everybody,
Anyone who will
yeah.
listen.
I mean, the chick was going to give us the cube.
Yeah, but that would, well, I mean, yeah, if we can just figure out how to just hang out until, how long until my actual ritual is supposed to happen?
You imagine it'd be just a couple hours. They said tonight, basically, and you think it was day when you guys set out and did all this, so. Ishmael says, if there's some way to hide the non-pureblood looking members of your party, maybe we can get out of this alive.
We don't have to hide the non-pureblood members of our party. The priestess gave us carte blanche to walk around.
But not the prisoners, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's
they don't know that.
Well,
nobody else is in the room, but
Ishmael says, that's not a bad point, but the only thing they would be doing would be cleaning certain areas or being taken to the slave grotto, where they would be excavating in the mines.
Or they have been assigned to our group via the priestess to see to our whims.
Purebloods do not have their own slaves, darling. Only the Melisons. But
we're not purebloods. The priestess gave us carte blanche to go where we want. She knows we're not purebloods.
That is, I suppose that's true, but...
And if they want to question it, they can go question the priest.
Ishmael just looks nervous about this.
I'll just hiss at him.
If we could at least keep them hidden until the ceremony, maybe we can get them into the ceremony, like in the same way you're talking about, where they're just, I don't know.
Oh, honey, the only way they're in the ceremony is if they are sacrificed and their blood spilled into that fountain. I don't think they would like that much.
No.
As I said, the prisoners, darlings, are usually on the prisoner pits in the slave grotto or doing some task, cleaning up after the dinosaur, or assisting Opal in the distillery, or scrubbing the bathing chambers. I don't know at what point Ishmael became a southern gentleman, but there it is.
It's close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you guys pretend to do that? One of those until we get the opportunity to get into Rosnisi's chamber?
Do we know where our chamber is?
Ishmael, where is his chambers? I don't know.
Well, the throne room is beyond the Fane to the east, but Rosnisi's chambers, oh my, He's got some sort of a secret door in there somewhere. He's also surrounded by loyal guards. One of them in particular, Sekalok, a mountain of a man, dreadful, very rarely leaves Rosnisi's side.
Hmm.
And of
I don't
course,
know.
you might have heard that Rosnisi still commands the dead.
Oh, no, I forgot about that.
He once had a big army of undead throughout the jungle. You might have seen his sign around the blue triangle.
Mm.
I say we go that way.
That way, what?
Towards Rosnisi's room.
Ishmael looks terrified. Oh, I would avoid Rosnisi's room. Any deception you try there would be the most difficult, at least before your little transformation, if you're going through with it.
George,
So if we went-
Others you could
hold the
probably
sword.
fool a bit easier.
George grabbed the sword. Says, "I don't plan on deceiving anyone."
Ishmael blanches.
Well, okay. Maybe we just keep. I don't know. Keep the two of you on the down low. Gillian's invisible. George just gotta hang out. Let's hide yourself somehow until I'm one of them. And once I can get into the room, then I guess we can go as hard as you want to go.
Are there any like beams and columns up above?
In this hallway, there are. Yeah, there's columns all along this hallway.
There are like beams to walk on top.
Oh, no.
Just trying to figure out where the big snake was crawling. How he was like crawling on the ceiling and stuff.
Oh, that was just in the storeroom because there was a lot of like boxes and crates and things. And he had like a little nest area. When he actually exited into the hallway, it was just crawling along the ground.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But yeah, Ishmael mentioned that prisoners are either in the pit or performing a lot of menial tasks around the temple. But obviously, they're not armed to the hilt. They're stripped of all their goods. So that would be alarming if anybody saw somebody like George with like swords all over him and stuff.
All right,
McCall
so
says,
we gotta
or
go.
we keep
Go
you
the other way.
hidden
Let's go.
somewhere.
Look at me. I'm huge. You hide me.
There is a
Then-
door here, which appears to be magically sealed. All of you can sense some kind of like magic lock on it.
Magic lock, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that doesn't actually affect magic locks. Oh wait, sure it does. Can I do something to determine whether I think that this is magically sealed with specifically the arcane lock spell?
Give me an Arcana check as you investigate this door. It's this door here.
Which one?
You don't know how well you can see here because of the.
Give me a direction.
Right, it's southwest of you.
It's right here.
Okay.
There you go, in front of George.
$21.
Mannix, you think the arcane lock spell is the exact spell that has been cast on this door.
Well, I can get us in this room for 10 minutes. As long as no one closes the door, fine. I will go up to the door and I will touch the hilt of my keyblade to it
Okay.
And suppress the arcane lock spell for 10 minutes.
Okay. It appears to be currently unlocked then.
Thanks, pal. Come on, Zandala.
Okay. All right, you open the door?
Yes.
All right. Door
Massive
opens.
fireball erupts.
That's right. You fools. Inside, you see gleaming scimitars, serpent helms, and suits of scale armor cramming the racks of this vault. Large bones and horned skulls litter the floor, and a shield made from the shell of a turtle hangs on the far wall.
That's genocide.
George starts getting angry.
Just get inside, George. You can be angry, but be angry inside the room.
You can be angry inside the room.
No, you're just gonna lock me inside.
We can't lock you inside because if I shut this door and 10 minutes goes by, you guys are gonna be stuck.
I know.
So we're gonna have to just door stop this door, like make it look closed, but like leave something blocking the door so it's not fully shut.
I don't think that works on a magical door.
It will. Arcane lock, I believe, is if we're okay. We just can't shut the door.
George, you do feel like with a really, really impressive show of muscle, you could actually physically force the door open, but it would be a feat of physical prowess to do so. But it's not like the door is automatically shutting either. It's just, as Manic said, when the door closes, his magic, what does it last for 10 minutes that it's currently open?
Yeah.
So does anybody wear those things that are inside? Those scimitars and armor and stuff like that? Have we seen anybody wearing those?
I mean, it does appear to be like the equipment for, like the military equipment of the Yuan-ti that you've seen around, yeah. And including the ones that have attacked you out in the city as well.
Let's disguise ourselves.
Would that work? If George and Gillian were wearing like all sorts of fake armor and shit, we have to put George in a very big robe.
Alright. No, you do your thing. We're going back to the storeroom.
Are you guys going in? You see one of the fat purebloods start kind of ambling down here just to see what's going on.
Get inside, quick!
Damn it. I hate you.
I'll come in too. I'm not gonna leave you just yet.
Zandala dutifully follows.
And I will, once we're all of us that are getting inside, I will mage hand the door, like the fingers of the mage hand between the door and the stop, but I close it as much as possible.
Okay.
But just keeping those fingers there so it doesn't actually.
Celeste, did you want to go inside or hang out here?
I'll try to play lookout with the others and keep the brood thingies from coming down here.
As you all step inside, and Manix, as you turn around to try to shut that door, you see a lot of the bones start to animate in this room, and they form together in this very strange shape, and you realize it appears to be a skeletal serpent. And it forms up into a horrifying skull face and turns towards you all. Looks like this. Turns to all and says, in common, says, "They will tell us the passphrase, so Uruk Lahamu has spoken." And that, I believe, is where we're going to end tonight's session. I'm going to start the poll, which hopefully should work, where you all can determine who was our session's MVPC this session. You can vote for Mannix, Celeste, Gillian, George, or Theron. For those of you that are still hanging around with us for this long, probably should have started the poll a little bit earlier, but I did remember it. That's the important thing. Players, if you're in the chat, you can also vote, but you cannot vote for yourselves. We'll pay attention to that. Thank you.
For me playing Zendala.
That's right.
For those of you that were in our DM giveaway, I believe the chat system works the same way. You can type just vote and then a player name, I think, to make it work. Otherwise, thank you to Chris, Heather, Rochelle, Raymond, and Reese for playing. Thank you to all our wonderful fans for watching. You can go to roguewatson.com for recaps and patreon.com/roguewatson if you would like to support the channel. We're live streaming our D&D adventures every week, and we'll see you next time. I think I can vote as I only go. Please vote, by all means. Go ahead. What was the MVP from your last hour session?
The last hour of the session.
Voting will end soon, and I will announce our winner, which is going to be George. George, you've earned inspiration for next session due to your
George by
shenanigans.
himself.
Congratulations. That's right. It was always going to end up this way.
Thank you. Thank you for the vote.
Indeed.